Howdy. Do you ever find yourself needing or wanting to take greater steps towards your goals or purposes? I know you do, because we all do it. Sometimes you just can't take the small steps. Either by desire or circumstance, you need to take a leap. In this video, I'll talk about those situations with a story about learning to ski. The last video, I talked about being patient with your progress and taking things one step at a time. I still believe that. It's not counter what I said before, but the circumstances are different. When you do that, when you take the smaller steps and not try to plan out everything to get to your goal or your business goals or your work goals, anything like that, take one step at a time, plan each step very methodically. It can reduce stress. It can also help with your anxiety, build confidence and competence. The link for that video is down in the description if you're interested in watching that as well. So here's the deal. The reason why I picked skiing is because there's a lot of analogies with skiing with other things in life. And sometimes it's the opposite of how life works. So anyhow, learning to ski can be very challenging, and it was for me, because it can be quite counterintuitive. One of my friends that was trying to coach me and help me to ski when I wasn't in class said skiing is a mind fudge. But he didn't say fudge, if you know what I mean. It being counterintuitive. Oh, here's an example. Now, when you're moving around in life and you slip, like there's some water on the floor or whatever, and your feet are starting to go out from under you, you tend to lean back to try to get the brakes on, right? Or like when you're sliding into a base when you play baseball, you're on that back foot. Well, when you ski, the way things are designed, how skis work, when you put the weight towards the tails or the back of the skis, you tend to go faster. And since you've got the weight on the back of the skis, which aren't really used for steering or braking or control or anything like that, just basically to support you, you end up falling on your butt or worse, or going very fast. And once you get in that back position, it's very hard to get your skis back under you. So that's one of the first lessons in skiing. They kept telling you, and I never do get this expression when people say, you're over your skis. That's actually a good thing. Because when you get your weight over towards the tips of the skis, that's where you have your control. So you don't lean back on the skis, okay? Another thing is that if you look at a pair of skis, unlike a motorcycle or bicycle or a car, there's no steering wheel. How do you steer these things? There's no brake pedal. How do I stop? Well, these are all things you learn as you learn how to use your skis. Now, one of the things that happen to many of us, most of us, many of us, when you're learning to ski is that towards the end of the day or after you've been taking lessons, you get into either your car to go home or you go into the shop and return your equipment. When you're first starting out, you rent your equipment, generally. You'll notice your arches and your feet are really sore. And it's not from getting, pounding them into the snow. It's because at a subconscious level, you're trying to hold on to the skis. It's a control thing. Well, your feet are in your boots for one reason and one reason only, to keep you standing straight up. You really don't use your feet skiing. You use your knees to control your boots that are very stiff and they're wedged onto your skis. And that's where all the control is, how you stop, how you steer. So like steering, for instance. Now, a lot of times when you think about riding a bicycle, motorcycle, you lean into the turn, right? Well, you don't really do that with skiing. You steer with your opposite foot. So if I want to turn left, I put weight and bend that knee in a little bit towards the left with your right foot. Counterintuitive. These are all things that make you go like, I don't get it. But the thing is when you're first starting, you go by how you've always done things. So you think, I want to turn left, so I want to put weight on the left foot. And guess what? You go to the right. Just like anything else, it's like, when you're walking or running, do you think about, okay, I need to pick up this foot, it's behind me, I need to pick it up and move it forward so I can place it down again and then lift the other foot, or if I'm going to turn, I need to do this, do that. No, it's all subconscious. You just think, I need to go that direction, and you go. Just like any other skill, any other sport, as you learn, it becomes second nature. When you're first starting, you have too much to think about. So here's a deal. Now this really set me back, and it was inevitable. But my first class, I remember one of the exercises the instructor had us do was line up on both sides of, let's see here, what's the way to put it? Having our skis perpendicular to the fall line. The fall line in skiing is basically like if you're falling down or you get a ball or a snowball and roll it downhill, that's the direction it's going to go. Gravity's going to pull it down that direction. Okay, that's the fall line. So to keep you from going down the fall line, you put your skis perpendicular to that. You don't move, you just stand there. So we had two different lines going across from each other, and we were going back and forth, one at a time, to practice basically controlled, what they call it, skiing is a controlled fall is what they call it. But anyhow, we're just going back and forth, just learning how to turn a little, how to stop, how to control our speed. And when you first start out, they say put your skis in the pizza slice position. So skis are parallel. Let's see if I can do that with this camera. And when you put the noses or the tips closer together and the backs out, it causes you to do a little bit of a twist. Okay, here's your skis, a little bit of a twist. So your edges are in the snow. So that's how you keep your motion controlled, your speed controlled, is by having that position. This is a beginner position. You don't do it in the Olympics. Okay, so anyhow, we're practicing that. Well, the guy across from me, who was a lot bigger, a lot heavier, and just as stupid as me, was coming towards me. I was coming towards him, and we got very out of control, and we both forgot how to turn. We were just learning how to turn, we both forgot. So our skis came together, chests, bodies came together. I bounced off him, obviously. He fell, I fell. It didn't stop me that day, but did knock the wind out of me. But that was kind of like one of those things that you don't forget. So anyhow, we got yelled at, I think. Stay separate. But anyhow, we came into each other and had a collision. So that was one of the first things we learned. Okay, so let's talk about the next level. Now, when you go skiing, you start out on what's called the bunny slopes. They're very short. They look like more of a field than anything, but they have a slight slope to it, just enough so if you put your skis downhill, you're going to go downhill. You're not going to get out of control. You're not going to run anybody over. It's just enough of a gravitational pull to keep you in motion. Okay, so you do that. You practice your basics, your turns, the whole bit, and it gets boring after a while because you see the same people, the same area, doing the same thing over and over again. So as you get better, you can go up on the lift and go to a longer bunny hill, or I should say a beginner run. They call them green runs. They have a little bit more challenge. They're a little bit more inclined, so you go a little bit faster, but you're not going to be running off a cliff or anything like that. And so you do that and you practice, you get better. And the thing is, if you've been skiing all day, or if you have a night skiing session all night, you get tired. And what a lot of people will do, if they go up towards the top of the mountain, they'll come down on what's called a cat track. And what's a cat track? Well, it's basically a road that has snow on top of it. And what it's for, primarily, is for the cats, which are vehicles that are used for both like grooming the snow, making it nice and smooth, Taking provisions, maintenance up and down the hill, to maintain the equipment, bring things for the shop up on top. Like some places will have a place to have food on the top or in the middle of the mountain. They'll bring up supplies for that. But it's also good because it's very flat, very smooth for tired skiers because it's kind of like the bunny hill, but all the way from the top to the bottom. So you can go down that. It's like not quite rush hour. You're not bumping into people, but you're going very slow. And so you don't have to worry about doing much turns. You're just standing on your skis and doing what little things you need to do to control it. And a lot of people do that. I used to do that all the time because it's like I'm tired. I can barely stand up. I just need to get to the bottom, turn in my skis, go have something to eat, and go home. Well, whenever I went skiing, I always went with a friend, at least one. Sometimes we went in a group. And friends would always be very helpful, trying to give me some coaching, helping me get up and down the hill. And a lot of people, even the more experienced ones, if they've been working really hard, will get on the cat track and go down with you and just take it easy. But I had a couple friends that, liked the adrenaline. So what they would do is that sometimes they come down with me and give me some coaching and like, hey, this is our last run for the night. I'm going to go down to another ski run and go fast, and I'll meet you down at the bottom. Not a problem. Well, one of the times my friend was with me, and he says, I'm going to go over here and go down. I go, what? Because on the edge of the cat track is the side of the mountain. And if you ever been up in the mountains, which most people have, what's below a road can be either, just flat land or a cliff. So I was freaking out because he's going, I'm going to go over here. I didn't know what was on the other side. Can see that there is a run down there, but I don't know how he was getting there. So I stopped and said, okay, I'll see you down there. Let me watch you go over. And he went over, his skis went over the edge, and I saw his head disappear, and I went, uh-oh, where'd he go? And then a few moments later, I saw him down on the ski run. I mean, he went straight down and took off on the ski run. And so uh, another time when we were going down the cat track, he said, why don't you come with me? And I said, oh man, I don't know, man. I don't think I got the skill for it. It's kind of scary. Had that fear still of when I had that collision because I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my ability. Well, the thing is where the areas are that are between the ski runs or the cat track and a ski run, they don't maintain that. It's not, they don't have the snow plows coming out, packing down the snow. So you don't know what you're going to run into. You might run into some rocks, some trees, some bushes, maybe a creek, whatever, where you are. And he was explaining to me what I need to do. And he says, Don, it's not very long. You're not going to be on it for very long. You just go straight, basically. You're not going to have enough time to turn, but you are going to get you are going to get some speed. And he said, just follow me, let me get down toward close to the bottom and I'll guide you down. Okay. All right. Well, if you have skied, you know that when you get off trail, sometimes the snow is very soft and very deep. And if you fall, which I've done, if you fall and you fall in that area, you may sink so much to where you have to climb up on top of your skis. I mean, it is very challenging. It's a lot of work to get your body on top of the skis and then get on top of your feet and get into the skis. Fortunately, that didn't happen to me. So I did what he said. I went over the edge, ski straight down, did a couple nice small gliding turns and got on the course down below. And he said, what'd you think? And I said, well, it was pretty scary. He said, what did you think? How did it make you feel? It's like, I can do it again. So the next time we went up, I did the same thing. I followed him down. So the next several times we went skiing together, I just followed him where he went. He never took me any place that I was going to get in trouble. He never took me on backcountry or down double black diamonds over moguls. Moguls are the bumps you see on the side of the hill they're made by the skiers going down on very steep land or steep runs. So he never took me someplace where I couldn't do what I was supposed to do. I trusted him. It got to the point after doing that a few times, I was doing more challenging runs. I was following him down the road or down the hill and put on my headset, listened to my tunes, and skied with the music. It was a big leap. Not only was it a leap for myself to prove to myself I could do it, it was a leap that I was doing much better than I had been doing before I tried doing that. Okay. So it got me progressing where I was stuck before because now I knew that I had the skill, the confidence to do it, and the competence. My body knew what to do when I went down those steeper runs and how to handle soft snow. So anyhow, I did it. I took the challenge, took the leap, and the rest is history. So, when in other areas do you need to take a leap? Well, an analogy is like if you're going upstairs and one of the treads in the stairs, that's what a step is called. One of the steps is either missing or broken, and you need to get up those stairs. Whatever. Think about a scenario that would happen, and you need to step over that bad stair. So that is a situation where it's by circumstance you need to take a leap. I'm not saying jump up the stairs, but you're taking something bigger than if you just took each individual stair. The same thing with a ladder. If one of the rungs is damaged or broken or missing and you need to get up on your roof to get something down, whatever it is, you'll just step over it. You may have to pull yourself up with your arms to get over it, whatever it takes to get it done. Or, like in the situation with my friend, it wasn't that I needed to. I could have just stayed on the bunny hill and stayed on the cat track for the rest of my skiing career. But I wanted to progress and I wanted to keep up with my friends because when your friends are all intermediate and advanced skiers or whatever sport you're in and you're a beginner, it gets kind of lonely being by yourself sometimes. Anyhow, so this is where coaches, teachers, mentors, accountability buddies all come in. Now, like my friend who got me to come down that little steep hill, he's kind of an accountability buddy, right? He was giving me some coaching, mentoring me, but also he was letting me know that I could do it. And he was my confidence to do it. I probably wouldn't have done it on my own ever. But having someone to work with, to help you, to guide you in what you're doing, if you're working on your goals, if you're working on a new skill, if you're starting a new business, take the classes you need to take, work with the people, team up, whatever it takes. But yeah, sometimes you need to take that jump, okay? And they'll help you with your confidence and your competence. They're the ones, like accountability buddy or coach or mentor. They will observe you from the outside. They'll see things that you can't see from the inside or feel from the inside, and they will watch you and they'll go like, he or she's ready for the next step. And they may push you a bit. And so they will give you the feedback, the reflection that you're ready, even though you don't think you are, or you don't feel you are, or you're scared. That's where you go from there. But sometimes you need to take a leap, and you'll know when it is. But yeah, like for instance, if you're working on something like skiing or another skill, or you're trying to build a business, say you're a real estate agent and you're trying to build something up and you're not getting anywhere, and they do have mentors in that field. Sometimes you're just going to have to go farther, or something's going to come up. Say for instance, you're going step by step with your progress, whether it's your goals or starting something new, and you're just getting bored. It's like, I really want to do this. I really want to be good at this, or I want to make my first deal and close a transaction and make my first check. You're going to push yourself. That's where the leaps come in. I was going to say something else about, what you need to think about, but, you'll figure it out. But sometimes you want to move faster, just like me going down that one little ski run to prove to myself that I could do it. It was a leap in more ways than one. Not only was it a leap physically, but it got me doing things when I was skiing that I wasn't able to do beforehand. And just by doing that one thing, that one go over the edge to get down to the other ski area, ski run, that I proved to myself that I could do it. And I never went back. Sure, I went back to the cat track now and then when I was tired, but I knew that if I came up to a situation where it's like, oh, I'm kind of bored on the green bunny runs. Let's do the intermediate blues, and then I could go do it. But yeah, that one night that we did it, I got me going to a place to where I didn't think I could do that ski season. So anyhow, I hope you find this helpful. Think about jumping, taking the leap to your next level. But anyhow, I just wanted to do this video as well because on the last one I was saying take the baby steps, take one turn at a time, one step at a time. Keep your fear, keep your anxiety down low, pick up your or build up your confidence and competence by taking these little steps and going on to the next level one step at a time. But sometimes you either have to or you want to take a longer, harder step to move forward. Anyhow, Coach Donald here. Hope this was helpful. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.